Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I feel like shit. Last night after dinner, I was like, let me make myself a little cocktail. I haven't had a drink, like an alcoholic drink in a while. And I have the Casamigos tequila. So I just had that with a little bit of Sprite. And I didn't even finish the whole thing. Like, it wasn't even that big of a drink. It was one. I didn't even get drunk from it. I started to feel a little like my stomach was starting to feel a little uneasy. So I stopped, didn't finish it. Woke up this morning, worst stomach ache ever. And I just feel so nauseous or nauseated. I feel nauseated. I know nauseous isn't the right term. I'm in the office room now because it's like the air is the coldest in here. It's helping a little bit because like the warm air is just like making me feel even worse. And I have a client at 10. Luckily, I just have one person today. It's a haircut. I'm hoping it should be quick and easy. And I'm not like sick or anything. I don't have COVID symptoms. It's literally just like my stomach feels uneasy and I just feel like nauseous and I have kind of a headache. And this just happens sometimes when I drink, and it's the weirdest thing. When I was younger, I could drink like it was nobody's business. And I could just drink all night long, and then next morning, no hangover. Like, I'd be totally fine. And I remember even when I was in cosmetology school, I don't know if I ever told this story before. I was going to school Monday through Friday full time, and then I was working after school in the evenings, Monday through Friday. And then I was working Saturdays and Sundays in the mornings. So I had no days off. After I would get done with work on Saturday, I would drive all the way down to Philadelphia, which is like 2 hours away from where I live. I would go out, be dancing, partying all night, drinking, get super drunk. And then I would wake up early the next morning to drive all the way back 2 hours so that I could go to work for Sunday morning. And I would be fine. And I would work my full shift and then wake up on Monday and start the whole week all over again. And then I swear, like, as soon as I turned 25, all that went out the window. Like, my body just could not handle any alcohol anymore. And it's hard to predict because I thought for a while, like, okay, maybe it's just like a certain type of alcohol. My one friend Kayla actually has an allergy to this one artificial sweetener that's in a lot of alcohols. So she's discovered that if she drinks something that has that ingredient in it, without fail, like, she will be sick the whole entire next day, throwing up nonstop. So I thought, okay, maybe I have like an allergy. But I noticed that it wasn't just like one particular type of liquor or one particular brand or anything like that. Like, I could drink the exact same thing and be totally fine, and then a few days later have the exact same thing again and even less of an amount, and then just get super sick from it. So I don't know, like, my body is just all over the place. It's been like 3 years now, and I've tried so hard to find like a pattern to see, okay, what is it? How can I prevent this? I remember one time I was hanging out with my boyfriend and I had a rum and coke, and I swear to God, I had maybe 2 sips of this drink. Not even 2 shots, like just 2 little sips of a mixed drink. And a few minutes later, I was like, I don't feel well. And I went to the bathroom and I just started vomiting. I don't know. It's really weird. I have this like alcohol sensitivity, but only sometimes. And then other times I can go out and I can have multiple drinks and I can get pretty drunk and then be fine. I don't know. It's super weird, but I'm like 100% positive that I feel this way because of the little bit that I drank last night. I feel like I should drink some water or tea or something, but I'm just scared to put anything in my body because I don't want to start throwing up. I want to just get to work, do my client, and get that over with first. I'm hoping that when I go outside and get some fresh air, that'll help even more. All right, so I'm about to head to the salon. Isn't this so much nicer than showing you my outfit in the closet? Like, you can see it so much better. The lighting is so much better. Amazing. So yeah, like I said, I'm just going in really quick for one client. She's a new client too, which normally when I have a new client, I try to pull myself together and look a little bit nicer, but I'm just not feeling it today, so I just don't even care. But I have this Sherpa pullover thing from Aerie. So warm, so soft and cozy. This coat is from Target. black joggers from Misguided, and then these fake Uggs from Arrow. So a very warm, cozy, comfy outfit. It's literally snowing. I normally hate the cold and I would be so miserable right now, but honestly, it's really making me feel better. Most of my nausea is gone already, just from like walking to my car, so that's good. I have some errands that I needed to run today anyway. I have to pick up my prescription from the drugstore, and I really desperately... The mailman was just wearing shorts. Yeah, I need to go to the grocery store very, very desperately. Hopefully I just continue feeling better from here so that I can still go out and do that stuff. Hell no. I just got to the salon and no one is here. The door was locked. And I swear to fucking God, I walked in there and I turned the light on and I heard somebody talking. And I couldn't hear what it said, but it was a fucking person's voice and it freaked me out. So I was like, okay, fucking man up. Like, maybe somebody's here. Maybe Courtney's here. Maybe, you know, her son is here. So like, I look in the back, all the lights are off. No one is fucking in there. I swear to God, I turned around and I fucking ran back out to my car. Oh my God, my heart is racing so fast. I was walking around turning the lights on, like I'm not expecting to hear somebody, so I wasn't paying attention. And then I was like, I was recording too. I wonder if the camera picked it up. I need to look back. Oh my God. So now I'm just waiting for my client in the fucking snow out in the car. So I came out to wait for my client in my car because something just happened that freaked me out, which I'll tell you about in a second, but I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, it's almost 10 o'clock. She should be here any minute. I pull up my schedule. Nope. She's scheduled for 11, not 10. Oh my God. I could have slept in an extra hour. And now I have to go back inside to lock the door and turn the lights off. So, because I'm certainly not fucking staying here for an hour by myself, especially after what just happened. Okay, hold on. I need to have my boyfriend on FaceTime for support. I'm an idiot, and my client isn't coming till 11. I thought she was scheduled for 10. So now I have to go inside to fucking turn the lights off and lock the door. So I had to call you because I'm scared.
Okay, hey, don't worry, you can do it.
Alright, so...
No ghosts?
Shh, don't even say that. I'll be back in an hour. Bye. Okay, so I decided since I had an hour to kill I went to pick up my prescription from the drugstore. I was gonna go to the grocery store, but I didn't know if I could do that quick enough. And the snow is coming down so hard and all of the roads are like completely coated. And my car, I have a little Honda Fit. So it is not a car that does well in the snow. So I'm like slipping and sliding my whole way around town. I think it's supposed to continue snowing like this until 2 o'clock. And if it just keeps picking up, like it's really coming down. So by the time I finish with my client, I feel like the roads might be worse and I'm really nervous. Like I live very close to the salon, luckily. So I'm hoping that like some plow trucks go by and like salt the roads or something. So let me fill you in on what happened a little while ago. So the salon where I work, if you have been following me for the last couple of years, I've talked about it before, but there's been some weird occurrences at the salon. I've experienced things, clients have experienced things, my boss has experienced things multiple times as well. I am somewhat of a spiritual person, and I think that I do believe in ghosts and like paranormal things, but I'm very skeptical and hesitant to believe in them. I will try to explain things away with all of like the logical explanations first before I would ever just jump to ghost as my conclusion, you know? So this was like 2 winters ago. I started doing eyelash extensions and I was very, very busy with clients. And so there would be some nights where I would be at the salon working till like 9 or 10 o'clock. And I would have to lock up by myself because everybody else would get done sooner than that. And the room where I would do lashes is upstairs on the 2nd floor of the salon. So when my client would get there, I would lock the door behind them, make sure that everything was locked, all of the windows, the door, everything. And a couple weeks into doing this, I started hearing noises coming from downstairs in the salon. It's not like I was sitting there in absolute silence and I was hearing like these little like creaks and stuff. I'd be upstairs with music playing, I'd be talking with my clients, I could be loud. So I would hear these sounds that were loud enough that I could hear it over our talking and the music. And it would always sound like somebody was downstairs walking around. And it freaked me out because at first my thought is, oh my God, somebody's here. And there was a few times where like I literally stopped, pause the music, go downstairs and check. Nobody would be there. The door would still be locked. And this just kept happening and kept happening where I swear I would hear the front door open, somebody walk in and just walk around downstairs and just walk from like room to room downstairs. And I was really scared that somebody was like coming into the salon each time, but nothing was ever missing. Money was never missing. Nothing was ever disturbed. And I would check, like all the windows would be locked. The door would be locked. Nothing was broken. Like it just doesn't make any sense. If somebody was coming in, what is the point? They're not doing anything, you know? Then one night I was doing my friend Tanya's lashes. And up until this point, I refused to convince myself that the salon was haunted because I didn't want to freak myself out. I was like, I'm just hearing things. It's in my head. My friend Tanya comes in for her lash appointment one night and we're upstairs. Like I said, she's my friend. So we had the music on extra loud. We're singing along, we're talking, we're laughing. All of a sudden, I start to hear the noise again. And I didn't say anything, but then my friend Tanya goes, is somebody downstairs? And I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm not the only one hearing this and I'm not making it up. She's hearing the exact same thing that I am. So I turned the music down a little bit and it sounds like somebody is walking around downstairs. And I'm freaked out because at this point I'm like, okay, she hears it too. So there has to be somebody here. So we just kind of wait. And all of a sudden it sounds like somebody is walking up the stairs to come up to the lash room. And she then says, is somebody coming up the stairs? And mind you, she's laying there with her eyes closed because I'm doing her lashes. Just the fact that she was confirming what I was hearing sent me. I was like, oh my God. And as soon as it sounded like the footsteps were approaching like the top of the stairs where we'd be able to see the person, it just stopped. Completely stopped. Didn't sound like the person turned around and walked back down. Like, no, it just stopped completely and no one was there. We were freaked out, so I finished her lashes really quick and then we went downstairs and we were investigating, looking around in all the rooms. Nothing. No one was there. So then one night I am upstairs with a client doing lashes and my boss actually stayed late this night because she was doing inventory. So she's in our back color room. I'm upstairs with my client. No one else is in the salon. She's back there putting color away and all of a sudden she hears someone knock because the front door of the salon is glass. She hears someone knocking on the glass, and then she hears the door open and somebody step inside. In the 2 seconds that it took her to just swing her head around the door to look towards the main, entrance of the salon, no one was there. The door was closed. So she walked out, no one was in the salon, she opened the front door, nobody was out here. If somebody was really there knocking and opened the door and came in, like, it would have been impossible for them to just all of a sudden, like, run out really fast. And she didn't hear the door close back behind them or anything. So I ended up cutting back my hours doing lashes. I wasn't at the salon late by myself anymore. And I hadn't heard or experienced anything for a really long time. Then, many months later, I'm at the salon on a Saturday. Everybody got done early for the day. I was running behind on my last client, and my boyfriend came to the salon because he was going to meet me. We were going to go get lunch after work. So I'm upstairs doing a lash client. He's waiting for me downstairs, and he said he got up to go throw something in the garbage in the back room, and he heard somebody, a female voice, like right up close behind him, say, "Hey." And he freaked out and like spun around really quick. Nobody was there. The door was locked. The only other people in the salon were me and my client upstairs. And he said he heard somebody like literally right behind him. My boss said that one evening she was standing outside of the salon. She was here by herself, and she stepped outside to have a cigarette break, and nobody was here. It was like in between clients. She was waiting for her next person to come. And all of a sudden she said that she felt someone from behind her tug like pretty hard at her hair. And she said she freaked out because she wasn't wearing a jacket or anything. All she had on was a loose t-shirt. No necklace, no scarf, nothing. So it's not like her hair got caught in her clothes or something like that. It's not like, oh, the wind blew it. Like, she said she felt someone tugged. Another week or so after that, she was here late by herself again, cleaning up. She had just finished her last client, locked the door, was just cleaning before she leaves for the night. And she had her adopted dog, Bella, with her. Bella comes to the salon with her pretty much every single day. And she is the quietest dog ever. She never barks. She never makes noise. She never cries. Like, she's a pretty silent dog. So my boss was in the color room, and Bella was in the room across from that in like our break room area. My boss said all of a sudden she heard Bella barking like crazy. And then all of a sudden she heard a girl's voice go, "Oh, a puppy." She said she was so freaked out she couldn't even go in the room, and all the lights were off in that room where Bella was sleeping. So she was like calling Bella to have her come out because she didn't even want to go in there to get her to see. Like, she was so terrified. Fast forward to this morning, I walked inside, as you saw, I turned the lights on, and I swear I heard somebody talking, and I don't know what they said. I want to say it sounded like a raspy female's voice. I don't really know for sure because I wasn't expecting to hear anybody there, so I wasn't paying attention, and it took me a second to process, like, wait a second. I just heard somebody talking, and then I paused to see like if I heard anything else, because I thought, okay, maybe somebody's here, but there's no cars in the parking lot. The door was locked when I got here. And so I looked around in the back rooms, nobody's there. All the lights are off. Nobody's upstairs. And again, there's no signs that like somebody broke in. Like, no one was there. I looked. Oh, and the thing that's creepy too is where I heard the voice come from was that same break room where Bella was barking that night. It's just so creepy how these things keep happening. Multiple people are experiencing it, and it all lines up. It's all female voices or a female voice. And like I said, my boss is the same way. And my boyfriend, oh my God, I was telling him for months about everything that I was hearing, and he was like, you're hearing things. Maybe it's like a noise coming from outside. Probably just freaking yourself out because you're there by yourself. It's not a ghost. It's not like, ghosts aren't real. And for even him to be like, okay, I believe you now because I know what I heard, that's a big deal. Oh, and also I forgot to mention this part too. One of our clients is like sensitive, I guess. She doesn't call herself a psychic, but she's like sensitive to things like that, and she's sensed things before, she's seen things, she's heard things. But I had talked to her about it when all of this like first started happening, and she was like, oh my God, I didn't want to say anything to freak you out, but I, like, from the first day that I came here, I sensed some kind of presence, and I got the sense that it was a female. And she said that it was a female before we all like started to hear any actual voice. So that to me was like, I believe it. I don't need any more convincing. Thank you so much. But our client did say that it didn't feel negative. It didn't feel like a bad presence. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with like a friendly ghost. I don't want to know that you're there, you know? Anyway, I have about 12 minutes till my client's supposed to get here, so we'll see. I'm really hoping that she shows up because I'll be really pissed if I went through all this for nothing. Thank God the plow just went by. Hallelujah. Oh, there it goes. It is now 10:59. Oh, and now it's 11. There does seem to be a lot of traffic, and because of the weather, I just ran inside, like literally ran in, ran out just to check to see if she called the salon and left a message. She didn't, so I don't know if she is on her way and it's just gonna be a couple minutes late. I'm gonna give it another like 5 to 10 minutes. She literally just booked this a couple days ago and confirmed it. And see, normally if she were to call me or DM me and be like, hey, this weather's really crazy, my car's not good in the snow, I'm not gonna be able to make it, I would totally understand. To just like not show up and then also not reach out to is not cool. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and I'll let you know what happens. I'm just done. I am over today. My client didn't end up showing up. I DM'd her on Instagram to see if she was maybe on her way. She didn't even open my message, hasn't responded. And I just got home now and I opened up my closet and I completely forgot. Like, of course, now I'm all on edge and freaked out because of what happened at the salon. I had put my mannequin here temporarily, and as soon as I opened the closet door, I just see like this little midget. I jumped pretty hard. It's not even noon yet, and this day already has just been so shit. Like, I got up and got to the salon an hour earlier, which is totally my own fault. I should have checked the schedule before I left. But then after all of that, she didn't even show up anyway. I'm gonna tell myself that some really crazy emergency came up, and I'm gonna wait and see if she ever reaches out to me at some point in the day, because I just cannot fathom that people are this inconsiderate. If you guys have been watching all of Vlogmas, like, this is already now the third person, I want to say, since December 1st. And I only work at the salon 4 days a week. So it's like, what, practically half of the clients that I've had scheduled in the last couple of days have all just no-showed me. Like, what is going on? And this does happen every so often. It's one of those things where I feel like no matter what kind of policy you have in place, like, you can't avoid it. It's gonna happen. But I just can't believe that it's happening this consistently. Like, what is so hard about just picking up your phone and making a quick phone call to just let the person know that you're not gonna make it? And I was feeling sick this morning. Like, I would have loved nothing more than to be able to just stay in bed and sleep in. This is insane. Please comment down below if you were also a hairstylist and let me know if this has been happening to you a lot lately. It seems like my other hairstylist friends have also been experiencing this too. And it doesn't matter, like, if you have a cancellation policy, if you charge a fee, if you require a deposit, like, it just doesn't seem to matter. And at this point, I always want to be like, you want to book an appointment, you have to pay in full up front. Thank you so much. At least on the bright side, I got to have that creepy experience at the salon, so I got some content. It's a couple hours later. I'm wrapped in a blanket because it's still snowing outside. And I am sitting here looking at the footage from earlier, and I'm trying to see if I can hear the voice in the salon. I'm on my editing software, and you can see here it picks up like all of the audio waves. And because the dryer was running, it's really hard to tell. Like, it's right there because you can see where I pause. Like right there. And you can kind of, I feel like I can kind of hear something, but it also just, in the clip, it's hard to tell because the dryer is running. And it just kind of sounds like, oh, that's probably just the dryer. But I swear to you, like, this has been going on for such a long time, and I promise this is not just like a clickbaity thing or something that I'm exaggerating or making up. I swear, I know what I heard. I know that I heard someone talking. I heard like a raspy woman's voice coming from the back room. And I wish, if the dryer wasn't running, I feel like you would have been able to hear it on the camera. And but it's just crazy, like, watching this back and seeing how my response was. Like, even though you can't see my face, but like, you can see how I literally, like, mid-walk just stopped and like completely froze, because I was like, what the fuck was that? But I was answering some comments. I'm so glad that you guys were enjoying yesterday's story time video. But I think I'm gonna wrap up today's vlog a little bit earlier because I just wanna edit this and then go take a nap or something. Today is just like a shitty day. But let's do some questions of the day. You guys asked a lot of good ones. So the first one is from Allison. Do you ever have days when you feel blah about your body/appearance? If so, how do you cope with it and find motivation to wear cute clothes and accessories anyway? I'm struggling a lot with this. 2020 has not been good to my appearance. Love your vlogs and content. Thank you, Allison. I definitely go through this. I feel like every human being, regardless of gender too, goes through this. I definitely have my moments where like I'm feeling myself and I'm like, ooh, yes. And then other moments where I feel so disgusting. I feel like everything looks bad on me. I feel like, especially if my skin is not doing great, I'll just be like, oh my God, I feel so fat and so ugly. And it's interesting because it really doesn't even matter what my weight is. My weight fluctuates all the time, but even when I'm like a little bit heavier, I can still feel really good, and then I can feel really shitty even when I'm like my lower weight. And I feel like what helps me is I have certain like go-to outfits that always make me feel really confident and good, that are like comfortable and I feel like look flattering on me. So my go-to outfit in those kind of moments normally is like some black leggings, a shirt, and then I'll tie a flannel around my waist so it kind of like cinches my waist, but also like if I'm feeling a little bloated or insecure about my tummy, like it covers that. Or in the summertime, I love wearing like compression bike shorts with just a tank top, and then I'll do like a loose flannel or a denim jacket or something like that, kind of like draped over me. And I don't know, just like taking a hot shower, washing my hair, styling it nice, putting like a little bit of makeup on, just small things like that makes me feel a lot better. I know people say like, oh, you should stand in the mirror and compliment yourself and point out things that you like about yourself. I mean, I don't know, I guess that works for some people. I don't ever really do that, to be honest. Maybe I should start. Andrew asked, how best did you save up to finally be able to afford your own apartment? So I have a separate video, which I will link in the description. It's a Q&A that I did when I first moved in here. And I talk a little bit more in depth about how much I saved up, how long it took me, and all that kind of stuff. But basically, what I have learned, the best thing to do is two things. So for me, when I was saving up to move out and get my own place, I was living at home with my parents, and I really didn't have much responsibility financially. I just had like my car insurance and my cell phone bill and my student loans that I had to worry about, but I wasn't paying for rent or utilities or anything like that. So that helped me out a lot. I didn't have a lot of like necessary reoccurring expenses each month, so that allowed me to be able to save more. But what I did and what I continue to do now is have multiple different bank accounts for different purposes. So rather than just having your one account where all your money goes in and everything comes out from that one account, split it up. So what I have is like my regular checking where my rent and utilities and like necessary reoccurring bills will come out of. Then I have a regular savings / student loan fund. Then I have like an emergency savings fund that I do not touch. And then I have my fun account. So if I want to go get my lashes done or go out to dinner, go buy clothes, or go on a vacation. So that way I know if I want to go on a trip, if I don't have enough money, like yes, I might have enough money in my other savings accounts, but if I don't have enough in that fun account, I'm not going on that trip. I gotta wait a little bit longer. That allows me to keep track of how much money I have, how much is going in, how much is coming out. So that way I'm not just like mindlessly spending and pulling money out of my savings, and it like guarantees that I'm gonna have a certain amount left over each month. The second thing is to set aside as much money as possible for your savings each month. Now I understand that some people do live paycheck to paycheck and you may not have the extra money to set aside every month, but whenever you do have something extra, set it aside. And if you need to cut certain things out, things that are not essential, going to get Starbucks, you know, going out to eat, little things like that, try to save however you can. And I know some people will say, oh, there's a certain percentage or a certain amount that you should set aside each month. I don't believe in that because that's gonna vary for each person. Some people have 10% of their paycheck that they can set aside and not touch. Some people can't, and they need to use every bit of it. So whatever you can do, and even if you can't do it every single month, but whenever you can, as much as you can, set it aside and don't touch it. And if you really need to, like if you are saving for something in a certain amount of time and you're just not making enough money at the moment to reach your goal, if you can and want to, consider maybe getting a second job or just some other like additional source of income if you can. Just picking up an extra shift at work, doing Uber or DoorDash orders or something like that. Because trust me, any little bit helps. So hopefully that advice is helpful to you, but like I said, I will have that Q&A video in the description and I go a bit more in depth in that one. I am going to wrap up this vlog here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. I love doing this. This is like my favorite part of every day. So continue leaving your questions in the comments so I can answer them in tomorrow's vlog, and I'll see you then. Bye.